Welcome to Story Lounge. Picture a small, rugged island in the Mediterranean, Corsica. It's 1769. A boy named Napoleon Bonaparte is born into a family of modest means. From an early age, Napoleon stands out, not because of his height, but because of his ambition. His mind is sharp, his determination fierce, and despite his Corsican roots, his loyalty to France begins to take shape. But it's not easy for young Napoleon. Sent to military school in France at just 9 years old, he's teased by classmates for his thick Corsican accent and small stature. Instead of retreating, Napoleon dives into his studies, reading history, strategy, and mastering the art of war. This boy isn't just learning how to fight, he's learning how to win. And in the years to come, the world will find out just how dangerous that combination can be. What drives someone like Napoleon? Ambition, a thirst for power, or maybe a desire to leave a lasting mark on history? One thing is for sure, Napoleon's rise is unstoppable. Fast forward to 1789. The French Revolution is in full swing. The streets of Paris echo with cries for liberty, equality, and fraternity. And in the midst of this chaos, our young Napoleon sees an opportunity. He's still a junior officer in the French army, but opportunity knocks when revolutionary France goes to war with the old monarchies of Europe. At just 24, Napoleon seizes the moment. His brilliance shines at the siege of Toulon, where he leads the French army to victory. A grateful nation rewards him with a promotion to brigadier general. In a single stroke, the boy from Corsica is on his way to becoming one of the most powerful figures in Europe. But this is just the beginning. The revolution has given Napoleon the platform, but what he does next will change the world forever. Now let's jump to 1796. Napoleon, just 27, is given command of the French army of Italy. This isn't a grand army. It's weak, underfed, and demoralized. But Napoleon has something other generals don't, an unstoppable drive. He rallies his troops, telling them they will conquer, not just for glory, but for survival. Within months, he leads his men to victory after victory. By the end of his Italian campaign, Napoleon has secured territory and treasure for France, making himself a national hero. His bold strategies, lightning-fast tactics, and the sheer force of his personality transform the French army into an unstoppable force. And behind all of this, his ambition grows. He's no longer just thinking of military victories. He's thinking of power, of control, of France itself. The year is 1799. France is in chaos. The revolution has created a power vacuum, and the French government, the Directory, is weak and corrupt. Enter Napoleon, now a national hero, fresh from his conquests in Egypt. But this time, he's not planning a military campaign, he's planning a political one. On November 9, 1799, Napoleon stages a coup. With his loyal soldiers by his side, he seizes control of the government, establishing himself as first consul. The people, tired of instability, welcome his strong leadership. But make no mistake, Napoleon is not just content with being a consul. He has far grander ambitions. And those ambitions will lead him to the imperial throne. In 1804, the unimaginable happens. Napoleon crowns himself Emperor of the French. Yes, you heard that right. He places the crown on his own head in a grand ceremony in Notre Dame Cathedral. In doing so, he sends a clear message. Napoleon answers to no one, not even the Pope. He is a ruler in his own right. As emperor, Napoleon's ambition knows no bounds. He implements sweeping reforms, from the Napoleonic Code, which modernizes the legal system, to massive infrastructure projects. But above all, his eyes are on expansion. The Napoleonic Wars rage across Europe as he seeks to build an empire rivaling that of ancient Rome. Napoleon becomes the master of Europe. Country after country falls to his armies: Austria, Prussia, Spain. His victories at Austerlitz and Jena are legendary. His empire stretches from the Iberian Peninsula to the Russian frontier. He redraws the map of Europe, placing his brothers and loyal followers on thrones across the continent. But while Napoleon's ambition fuels his rise, it also sows the seeds of his downfall. In 1812, Napoleon makes his greatest mistake. He invades Russia. Confident in his past victories, he marches into the vast, frozen expanse with over 600,000 men. But the Russian winter is merciless. Supply lines break, and the Russian army adopts a scorched earth policy, leaving Napoleon's troops cold and starving. By the time Napoleon retreats, only a fraction of his army remains. The invincible emperor has shown his first sign of weakness, and his enemies are quick to capitalize. In 1814, after years of war, France is invaded. Napoleon, once the master of Europe, is forced to abdicate and is exiled to the island of Elba. But even in defeat, Napoleon's ambition doesn't fade. In 1815, he escapes from Elba, returning to France for one final gamble, the famous 100 Days. But it's not enough. At the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon meets his final defeat. His ambition, which had taken him to the heights of power, now brings him down. He is exiled once more, this time to the remote island of St. Helena, where he spends his final years. Napoleon's story is one of unstoppable ambition, an ambition that took a boy from a small island in the Mediterranean and made him the ruler of Europe. But it's also a cautionary tale. His thirst for power ultimately led to his downfall. Yet, even today, Napoleon's legacy lives on, from his military strategies to the Napoleonic Code, which forms the basis of legal systems around the world. So, what do we learn from Napoleon? Perhaps that ambition, when harnessed with discipline, can lead to greatness. But unchecked, it can lead to ruin. Napoleon's rise was unstoppable, but in the end, even he couldn't outrun the consequences of his own ambition. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Napoleon's incredible rise to power. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic tales from history. Until next time, stay curious.